primitive screwheads. Listen up.
You using the whole fist, Doc? All right. Stop right there, and I'll bring back the sun. I'm telling you straight. It's my way or the highway. So anybody wants to walk, do it now.
I'm your Huckleberry.
I'm this and I'm dead.
Call me Snake. Call me Snake. Call me Snake.
Groovy.
Call me Snake.
Groovy.
All I'm offering is the truth. Nothing.
I'm dead, sexy.
Listen, buddy, don't start off with your one song shit again.
Guys, come!
Dr. Evil! Dr. Evil!
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is a war room.
What kind of fun it's gonna be?
Wah, wah, wee, wah.
I am a HAL 9000 completed.
All right, hit that like, everybody. Let's get ready to go. Instagram is now up. Excellent. Okay. Like it. Like it. What the? Why? What? All right, and Discord will be up in 1 second. So I can see the lovely peoples. So I can see the lovely peoples. All right. I feel like we should that's like the perfect time for me to enter and welcome everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's HAL Sparks, Mega Worldwide, the greatest live stream in the history of live streams. And you can tell I'm telling the truth because I'm staring right into your soul. Hit the like, share the show, patreon.com/HALSparks, Venmo, whatever site you like to watch the show on, I'm probably there. So just do the free thing following the show on that, whether you're on Facebook or whether you're on Substack, or just do the free thing. Just the numbers. It's a numbers game, baby. At this point, baby, it's a numbers game. That's all I care about. That's all the chat room cares about. The greatest chat room in the history of chat rooms. What's up, chat room? That's all that matters. It's a numbers game, baby. Right, I swear to God, we were talking this morning on Friday AI, as we do, a great deep philosophical discussion about the direction of AI in this country and what it's going to mean to the economy and to our own social safety net, our ability to operate and function as human beings and stuff. The normie conversation. And one of the things that Rob and I talked about was like, once money goes away or you have a non-labor economy, who's going to do what are you going to use for cash? What's cash? And I really do think it's going to be like clout points. Like, we're such a fame-driven society at this point. Like, you're going to have a fame quotient. Everybody's afraid of this, like, Chinese social credit score bullshit, right? And in reality, I think the chances are more likely that we'll have a fame credit score. Like, it won't be that you've got too many bad marks on you. Like, oh, you're more famous. You're more known than that person. You can go in, right? Can we call it constructed AI? I've got to say, Caleb, I've been calling it SI for a long time, synthetic intelligence, and I stand by that. I think artificial's a stupid word for it. I've had back when Musk was sane, we had a X dust up about it, and I was like, it's actually a more appropriate name for it is synthetic intelligence. But SI doesn't sound like AI, and so blah, blah, blah. And AI is how you spell love in Chinese, so maybe that's using English letters, but whatever. Anyways, point being that people are like, what are we going to pay with? And I'm like, it's going to be like the new Cruelty in LA Story where, can we get a good table this time? No, I'm afraid that is impossible. Where do you summer? What? Where do you spend your summers? Here. You can have the chicken. You can have the chicken. Right? That's it. Happy birthday, Wayne. Simulated intelligence, except it's not simulated once it reaches that point. It would be synthetic because it would be able to interpret things, which is the nature of intel. There's glitchy audio? Scheisse. All right. Hopefully let me remedy that. It's always something. Let's go over here. Do one thing real quick, if I may. And hopefully that remedied it a little bit. I don't know. There's always the possibility. Did that help at all? It's out of sync. Oh dear. Hold on. I'll go back to me. And then this will happen. Hold on. And we're back. And hopefully that linked it up. Restarting fixed. Yeah. Refresh. Yeah, just refresh your page. It should be all right. Dismiss. Go away. Excellent. And then make sure that this...
I'm telling you straight. It's my way or the highway.
You guys heard that, right?
So anybody who wants to walk, do it now.
Yeah. So, okay. Lots to talk about. Lots and lots. Oh boy. But that's me attempting to say but like Jeff Goldblum, and I think I'm fairly successful. But where have you gone? Discord, why do you disappear? Are you just not starting up? What the living phooey? All right, never mind. I will. We'll have to find another way to communicate until it comes up. I'm gonna close it again. Quit. Options. Assign to. Desktop display 1. And then try to open it. See if it opens again. It's you son of a bitch, you. I got it. That's good. All right. So now I can see the staff chat and all that stuff and know that my audio sucks. Okay. Good now after HAL refresh and HAL tinkering. I'm good. I'm a tinkerer. Let's be honest. Okay. Back to the chat room. Now I can grab the clips that I had before. God damn it. And some good stuff today, I gotta say. Let's see. Is it gonna be all right? This thing I don't understand, so I'm gonna borrow that, which is fantastic. This is hilarious. Hold on. This is also hilarious. It just gets better and better. Can I just say I'm not covering the fucking jeans bullshit because it's an absolute garbage distraction and I'm not going with it. And I've explained the like how they're not going to be able to arrest Obama and anybody in the administration last time, and that this is just another fucking head fake to MAGA. Can we just clarify that? Like there's some things you kind of have to jump back into, right? You have to go, all right, there's an update. There's not going to be a fucking update in any of this shit. Sorry. It's just dead in the fucking water. That said, hold on one second. There are a couple of things right out of the gate where you're just going to go, So, and not the least of which is our favorite person, the most miserable man on the internet, being just as racist as he can be and still keep your job. How's what ups with the noise about the ex-CIA agent who's claiming there was an audit? Yeah, we'll let the groundswell build on that. It's out of our hands. In the meantime, we got to keep our eye on the ball. This business, ladies and gentlemen, this is now that let me tell you something. This shit ain't going anywhere. Not just because Obama didn't do anything illegal or even wrong, and that, I mean, the Durham report tried everything it could to try to find something, and it was pathetic. It was really lame. And they hid it and tried to, that's why he buried it in the dark of night, right? It didn't even have to be edited by, the Dems and I put out a summary like Barr did, This is the part. This is the part where I'm not even going to watch this video because fuck you, Greg Kelly. You can tell Obama is guilty. Greg Kelly on Obama Russian hoax allegations. You can just tell. Greg, you can just tell. What? By looking at him? Fuck you, buddy. Fuck you. No, you can't just tell. You can't look at somebody and make superficial description, judgments about them and assume guilt on something. And we have a jury system in this country, the one that found your asshole buddy Donald Trump guilty of multiple felonies. Yeah, we have due process in this fucking country. Even if Trump wants to release somebody like Ghislaine Maxwell, pardon her, or give her clemency, she's still guilty of pedophilia and being a sex trafficker, no matter how much Trump wishes her well, you fucking punk. So don't even fucking start with me on this. You can just look at Obama and tell he's guilty. Why don't you take the first bus back to Coney Island, asshole? Jesus. Yeah, Greg rant number 700. I don't tend to rant about him. Most of the time we're just mocking him outright. But, so before we get to the scrumptiousness, there's an area where I gotta say is sort of outside of most of our, off radar for this crowd for the most part. We're aware of the names involved, certainly, especially in the case of Tucker Carlson or Candace Owens. We're aware of their names. We've seen them a little bit. But there's this beefing shit that goes on the internet behind the scenes that is, I would just say outside of our give a shit circle, right? It's not that if we saw it, we wouldn't find it interesting or whatever, but there's a lot of stuff worth giving a shit about. And until something breaks into that circle, it's a waste of fucking time. But then occasionally it can get kind of fucking tasty. It can get really fun. So there, whether it was, I don't know if it started when Candace Owens was on with Tucker Carlson. We covered a little bit of it where they were going after Nick Fuentes and have at it. Fuck them. Who cares? But they kind of ventured into some territory that was directly insulting to the boy. And there's a primer for it. Here, I'll open it up 1 second. Hold on. Let's see. I'm going to break this out. Somebody made literally a cartoon dust-up of it and posted it. I'll show you what I mean. So check this out.
You just interviewed Nick Fuentes.
I did.
Or had a conversation with him. What did you think of that? What do you think of him?
First of all,
experience with Nick Fuentes.
First of all, can you imagine being so up the ass of Nick Fuentes or Tucker Carlson or Candace Owens, even in the age of AI, where this gets really fucking cheap? It doesn't take time to do a lot of this stuff, and it's a lot of like repeated, sausage making, where you take a still image of something and then you pop it in and go make me a cartoon, a manga version of this or whatever, anime version, right? But just understand, this is time they could be spent denying people their rights and destroying, the privileges that people of America expect, or whatever. But they're grinding on each other's nuts. And so it is to be celebrated.
Says that he's a terrible person and a terrible human being.
But he is clearly part of a campaign to discredit non-crazy right voices.
I can confirm he's dishonest.
This child.
Oh, by the way, these are supposed to be Pepe frogs all over his jacket. This is Nick Fuentes, the poor little boy, coming in out of the rain to pray in church in his Pepe the Frog raincoat. The person who made this gave him a Pepe the Frog jacket.
This weird little gay kid in his basement in Chicago.
This weird little gay kid in his basement in Chicago. They're just like throwing all the disses in one.
Young white men who've been totally cut out of our economy.
Who apparently have a washing machine in the front lawn.
I mean, they really are the victims, and they're desperate.
What is that on the nightstand? Stop.
Young white.
First of all, this guy, that's the pink slip. He's crumbling up his pink slip. So he clearly got fired. I guess this is Tucker's redheaded stepchild, who has another set of steps separate from the step. You gotta love AI slop. It's fucking spectacular. Washing machine, an orange washing machine. I got the one that matched my hair, and now I'm gonna make the payments on it. He's crumbling up. Look at the kid on his phone.
Men who've been totally cut out of our economy. I mean,
these men who've been cut out of our economy. Somebody made the point of there being a smash rag on the fucking nightstand. They couldn't give him a digital clock, but all right.
they really are the victims, and they're desperate, and no one speaks for them.
Is that a used condom? It is the opposite of a used condom. It is the polar opposite. It is exactly what is not a used condom. It is the total absence of the need for a condom, as it were. I don't know what the fuck this is.
So they go to Fuentes because he's like incredible.
America First with NJF. And they got the eyes right. I'll give them that. They got the eyes right. Okay, sorry.
They articulate, and they think he's our leader. But in one of the saddest ironies,
They're walking along the Seine in Paris or in London someplace while it's just after a rain, I guess.
of all, like he's acting against your interests, actually.
But then when it comes to me, I'm one of the real disaffected white people. You want to talk about me and them? I am them. He says Nick Fuentes is...
Listen to the fucking like corporate team building music behind the scenes. And by the way, I love how like this hat says "Make America Great Again," but like up here, like oh shit, I have to show it. Hold on, let me grab. It's so hard to see on there, but I think those are in Russian. All right, so anyways, there we go.
Leading all of the disaffected young white men.
Where'd you get the mustache? I guess he does have a mustache sometimes, but that's a bit much.
I am a disaffected young white man. I was a precocious, intelligent, young white college student who went to
I was taller and thinner once.
Boston University.
With lighter hair.
Who was pro-Trump and red-pilled by Trump.
And his short arms. His short, stubby arms. Especially because Amane wear place rump. And then, of course, Pennsylvania President Trump. Pennsylvania. I love AI slop. It's so inspiring.
And animated by
people who look just like me. I want to live in a world where all the boys look just like me, so there's no competition, and all the girls look like me in a dress. So there's no competition.
Trump's message of America first. And I ask questions about Israel.
To a rabbi that just kind of bounded into your empty classroom? And Jesus Christ, you just managed to find the shortest rabbi in the world?
And I was punished for it.
All right, that makes more sense. Like him showing up and yelling at somebody's door, and they're like, "Get the fuck out of here! It's not a free step, is it?"
I did it years before Tucker Carlson started talking about Israel last year. And I sacrificed, and I was targeted.
What the fuck? A young Glenn Beck teaching a class on being a bullshit artist using conspiracy theory at the Learning Annex in 1997.
By the ADL. By
frog. Not Bohemian Grove. But America, flag, also crucifix betters. Yes. Now, would someone like to not come up and write anything on the paper? I paid so much for it.
the SPLC, by the federal government, by
the... Eek! How am I going to pay for having 2 beds in my room that are perpendicular to each other? How?
the conservative movement.
That's the bed that Gay Frog sleeps in, right? Yeah. Thanks, water. If you'd only listen to Alex Jones. And this is Candace on Tucker, apparently, when they were both 14.
Both Candace and Tucker were a part of. He's lonely. He's weird. He lives in a basement.
He watches lesbian porn in a tank top while his parents are out of the house. Sort of? What is that?
That's a lot of...
I want to be one of those girls. What is he? Is he crying because they're lesbians? Another one bites dust. Hey, another one's gone and another one's gone. Another one bites dust. Hey.
People, because of the problems you claim to care about. Do you care about Klarna?
Broke Goyen? Oh, that's supposed to say broke Goyim counter, I bet. It made an N instead of an M. So they're 36.8 million broke non-Jews and all the look-alike Jews who don't let it bother you that they also look like all the supporters of Nick Fuentes are all sitting around laughing at how all the poor, like, white Christian youngins are broke now. Ha ha ha, look how broke they am.
And people going into debt to...
Oh man, I probably should have checked my wallet before I entered the restaurant.
Pizzas and home ownership being impossible.
And the weird number of stars that don't seem to have any kind of a structure.
Or do you think that's a contemptible, low-status thing to be ridiculed and mocked? What is wrong with being from Chicago? What is wrong with being...
Nothing is wrong with being from Chicago. I think that was an afterthought.
Weird? What is wrong with living in your basement? I'm the inauthentic person. I am that person. I am a
He left the gay part out. That Tucker called him gay. He kind of bypassed that one. Didn't deny it. So, it's okay though. I mean,
for the disaffected white man because I am one.
Wait a minute. What? Hold on. Real quick. I know my geography.
I am a spokesman for the disaffected white man.
Where is Maria? Does anybody know where? Or is it next to Nurka? Maria first. Fake news. At least fake news is spelled right. Look, I know what you're saying, but how? They're using a camera from the late 90s, early 2000s, and he's talking on a microphone for Channel 29. No one knows why. Right on. Somebody worked at this halfway.
Because I am one, and you two are not.
Damn. No, I don't think I will, actually. But, yeah. So you get the
just
point.
Interviewed.
Hold on. Shut up. I don't want to hear it again. So where'd that come from? That, this is, I find out, like, so this has become a beef back and forth between Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes, the world's saddest white supremacist. And they were shit talking him. She was saying he's a terrible person. I guess Candace had to throw in, and she's basically just saying flat out he's a. Owens admits participating in the disinformation claim that he's a Fed. When asked, Owens quickly dismisses hearing claim from Tucker Carlson, the campaign's originator, who said, yeah, so this is some of the beef stuff. And look, most of the time I don't care about this, but anytime these assholes are eating themselves, I'm for it. Here's Candace Owens apologizing to Fuentes, I think, before then dissing him again after she was on Tucker again.
It was not an easy year last year. And so when on top of that, you start telling people to attack me.
I didn't really tell people to attack you.
Okay, fair. I might be misquoting there, but like they got the idea that they should start attacking me. I was like, okay, this guy must be working with the ADL because the ADL had just attacked me. And then it...
Right. It's got to be. I don't say anything that's upsetting to anyone except Jews. No one else could possibly have a problem with the bullshit I spout. Imagine doing that. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, if you will, chat room. Imagine in your own life where everything bad that happens to you, anybody talks shit about you, calls you a bad driver, flips you off in traffic, your immediate go-to is, the Jews, right? It must be them. It couldn't be that I cut this person off in traffic and they're giving me the finger. The Jews put them up to it.
It was like 2 weeks later, you're attacking me and people that watch your show are attacking me. And I'm just going, what the heck is going on in my life right now? Again, when you're in the moment, you can kind of believe something to be true. But I definitely thought that you maybe were like a total Fed.
Yeah, I heard that you heard that from Tucker. Is that true?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, because I heard that, and that was another thing.
I think a lot of people, by the way, have asked that question, like, is he a Fed? But I did not hear from Tucker, like, Nick Fuentes is definitely a Fed.
Well, Tucker is put...
I didn't hear from Nick. I didn't hear that directly. Nick Fuentes is definitely a Fed. Nice walk back.
Pushing that around. It's like a whisper campaign. He said that to Alex Jones. He said that to a lot of people, so...
Well, I thought I said it to people because I was definitely...
Yes, she thought she was patient zero.
I know, yeah.
Saying, like, he's got to be a Fed because what is he doing?
That was part of why I was, in particular, a little upset towards the middle of the beef last year.
Fair, but I really did believe it. I was just... it didn't make sense to me. I'm like, what am I doing that everybody everywhere is upset with me?
So everybody everywhere is upset with you. I don't know. Maybe it couldn't possibly be your fucking behavior. For real. Not, I don't care why these assholes are attacking her, but it shows it's a window into this dipshit's character that she is unable to do a self-assessment. Did I say something? Like, I think most people who aren't a narcissistic, sociopath, self-involved prick would go, whenever everybody's getting mad at you, you would go, did I say something wrong, or was I misunderstood? Did I attack someone, or they thought I attacked them? Right? And if you're on the wrong side of something, according to those other people, you can still be there. You can go, oh, they're yelling at me because of this. But if you're like, what the hell? Like, maybe you're an asshole? Like, maybe we've discovered a new thing. Occam's asshole. Candace Owens, Occam's asshole. Fucking hell. All right, so then that there was this get-together between, Candace Owens and them, and the guys on Peanut Butter Dickhead started, getting into this on everybody's behalf because they feel the need to, like, be the MAGAt whisperer in this situation. And the problem is here, I'll show you. Okay, there's a bunch of problems. Not the least of which is all these guys are assholes, and they are completely incapable of, like, self-assessment. It can't possibly be reality. Gravity can't be a thing. I must not be flapping my big fat arms fast enough. That's it. Because they're over Epstein this week. Yeah, that's also, they're trying to gin this up. The problem is bringing this up adds to it because Fuentes, I think he posted to Laura Loomer, are the Epstein documents on the roof of the White House when Trump was up there, right? He's just fucking digging on these assholes. So here, I'll show you a little bit of this Nick Fuentes brings receipts. Nick Fuentes rips Tucker Carlson over CIA allegations. So, in case you don't know, Tucker Carlson, his dad was in the CIA. And apparently Tucker Carlson said this year that he only found out this year that his dad was in the CIA. But there's video of him last year talking about it. So either he's got the same brain disease Trump does, or he's a lying piece of shit. I think it's a mix of both, personally. I think you can pick your battles. But yeah, here you go.
What? So this is what? This is
Tucker with...
This is our whole coalition chewing each other's dicks. Is that what this is? Play cut 5 of our own coalition chewing each other's dicks.
Candace Owens, where they talk about Tucker.
This is the guy, by the way, I think that they're always yelling at to show the clips, and now he's finally getting screen time because people in Peanut Butter Dickhead's audience are like, "Who the fuck are you yelling at all the time?"
Finding out that his father was part of the CIA.
Oh, okay, go for it. Play this clip.
Oh, sorry, I have it on double speed.
That's my boy, Rob. That's how we roll.
You can do that, but Rob. Just...
The only reason I know who he is because someone sent me a video a few years ago of him attacking me, and I was like, so I'm looking at this. And I'm like, well, first of all, this kid's really talented, like legit. And I can assess that just having done the job for so long. So I was like, wow, lots of talent, native talent. And he's attacking my dad as a CIA, his dad's in the CIA or whatever. And I'm like, well, that's no, untrue.
Even though, well, we'll get to that.
My father dies, and I learn, actually, yeah, was involved in that world. I was completely shocked by it. So no one has to believe me, but that's just a fact.
Right.
This was in.
Right. Welcome to the world of how Candace Owens' brain works. Yeah, the volume's low because they're playing it on their thing.
March of this year. Huh?
And yeah, so he found out in March of this year. And that, no, he didn't.
I'm like, well, how the hell would this child from Chicago, my dad was 84 when he passed. Like, who does this guy know who my dad is? And like, he's in intelligence. Well, how would he know that?
Wait, so that was his critique of you? Because I didn't see it.
Someone just sent me this video and was like, you can't believe anything Carlson says because his father was in the CIA. And
right. So let me get to that. Now, they're going to jump around and run interference for this this shit. Hold on. This is... I'll show... I think this is the...
But the only reason I know who he is because someone sent me a video a few years ago
is that
of
louder?
him attacking me, and I was like, so I'm looking at this.
Also,
like,
you notice there seems to be a problem not only with some of these videos, but you notice how he and other people like him, like Tucker Carlson, Benny Johnson, and all these guys, they start talking really quiet on their microphone and make it almost unlistenable whenever they're talking about shit that they're embarrassed by. Do you notice that? Okay.
Well, this kid's really talented, like legit. And I can assess that just having done the job for so long. So I was like, wow, lots of talent, native talent. And he's attacking my dad.
Right. That's that whole thing right there. Now, does this video make a compelling case to Tucker Carlson to CIA? This is 2023. Tucker Carlson, CIA company man. I don't know what the fuck this image is. This is Sam Parker. This is somebody running for Senate. I document the numerous connections between Tucker Carlson has to the CIA, an agency which allegedly rejected his application when he applied right out of college. We're supposed to believe that. Right. So this has been the story for a long time, just so you know. Now, hold on. This is go back to here. And again, watching these guys chew each other out is hilarious. But they're... yeah, when... I want to find the one where he's, yeah, I got to go to the latest back and forth, no? Or media, I guess.
Now, here's my position from the horse's mouth. Andrew Schultz, Tucker Carlson, Joel Pollack, Candace Owens, Dave Smith. Here's my position. For everybody that has so much to say about me without actually saying anything to me, without actually talking to me.
Well, you are in your basement, your mom's basement in Chicago between two ferns. They probably have your number, though, so.
for these people that talk about their nuanced position, which is so sophisticated and not anti-Semitic, but mine is so anti-Semitic and so dumb and obtuse, here's my position from the horse's mouth, okay?
Okay, and can we at least get Kanye to come in and translate? All right.
You want to talk about the Israeli government? You want to talk about what they're doing in Gaza? You want to talk about Jeffrey Epstein? Let's just use...
Yeah, those are not related. That's a conflation trick right there, just saying.
Jeffrey Epstein as an example.
Right, but not of Israel and Gaza, so okay.
Who right now is defending Jeffrey Epstein?
Donald Trump and Ghislaine Maxwell and her lawyers. And I guess anybody who was hanging out with him who hasn't disavowed him, who have remained silent because they're basically protecting him like that, I guess. And then I guess Candace Owens, right?
Ben Shapiro, Adam Sosnick.
Wait, wait, CSL, we have to find this video. Where is the Ben Shapiro defends Jeffrey Epstein thing? I think what he means is he's, either they're calling him an agent or an asset and that this was all for show and there's nothing there. Like maybe he means they're not defending him, they're trying to dismiss it, which is, again, gaslighting and trying to get rid of it that way, but okay.
Dave Portnoy. What do they all have in common? What do Ben Shapiro, Dave Portnoy, and Adam Sosnick from Patrick Bet-David's network, what do they all have in common?
Oh, damn. Adam, that's the guy who's always throwing cold water on Vinny's shit. They're Jewish, or they're brunettes.
They're all Jewish.
Ah, okay. You know what? I wanted to go with brunettes, but yeah, I couldn't really, So yeah, they're all Jewish. Okay, gotcha. Are all Jews defending Epstein by not going after it? Okay, anyway, all right. But they're Jewish, right? Maybe that's a good point. They're not Jews. They're kind of Jew adjacent. Is that what?
And every one of them is saying, I believe the Trump administration when it says Epstein killed himself. There's nothing more to see. There is no black book. There will be no further disclosures.
How many Jews are actually in the Trump administration, though? Like, none? Sorry, so I guess your biggest sales point is that 3 out of umpty million Jews are gullible assholes who will slurp Trump's butt? What are you talking about?
They all say, let's just stop talking about Epstein. Why? Why are they saying that?
Because Charlie Kirk, that Jew, is... Oh, wait. Sorry. Didn't Charlie Kirk the first guy that came out and said, I'm not talking about it anymore? Like, specifically? Just got a fucking phone call from the White House? I'm fairly certain, judging by his whole, like, we need Jesus everywhere stuff, and didn't this asshole just meet with him, or was it... I don't keep track of their social schedule.
It's because Ben Shapiro, Dave Portnoy, and Adam Sosnick are all Jewish.
What about the Jews that want it to come out?
And because they're all Jewish, they all have some affinity with the state of Israel.
How does that relate to the Epstein shit? Oh, wait, we'll find out. This is the early part of the take.
Because they're all Jewish, they're all a little bit bothered by the latent anti-Semitism of everybody realizing that our government may be controlled by a sexual blackmail ring that is working on behalf of the Jewish state.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, I think you're misreading. I don't have that problem because I voted for the woman of color last time. I didn't vote for the dude who was Epstein's fucking wingman. Our government is not controlled by a giant blackmail organization run by a dead guy or maybe a not dead guy, whatever the fuck. It's a weave. That's right, Aloysius. No wonder he was a big Trump fan. They could both, he's a rambling guy. All right. So, all right, something, okay.
And as Jews, it makes them deeply uncomfortable that the 98% of the population that isn't Jewish is realizing this.
What's the percentage of the Jews that in the population that are realizing this? And sorry, You're assuming that 98% of the population in the United States thinks that we are controlled by Israel because of a blackmail ring happening against the government, and not specifically the fact that Donald Trump is trying to hide his friendship with a pedophile. I guess this is where anti-Semitism does pop into the thing, because in his mind, the progenitor of this entire situation is Jeffrey Epstein. He is the match that lit the fuse. And I would argue that Trump is the fuse that waddled up to the match, went out looking for a match, and he found one in Jeffrey Epstein. The other thing is like, why the fuck did you back the dude when you knew he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein for a quarter century, and you knew his only friend before that was Roy fucking Cohn, a confessed pederast? How is this, this is not doing you a whole lot of good. And by the way, he's supposed to be a master debater.
So they want to convince their audience, everybody, let's just forget about this. Let's forget about the Jewish-Israeli blackmail ring that is running our country.
Oh, boy. So you don't have any concern over the fact that Trump will bend over for Vladimir Putin at every turn and spread his cheeks. You don't have any all right.
That might generate negative attitudes towards Jewish people. And they say this because they're Jewish.
Oh, I see. This is kind of like the people who pushed back on the idea that we should be nice to Muslim people after 9/11 because they're not all guilty for what a few of them did. That would be, you remember that? When people were trying to, including, I think, George W. Bush, were trying to say, stop it, right? Okay.
Now, I think that's a fair assumption to make. Why is Ben Shapiro loyal to Israel? Because he is Jewish?
I think it's more because he's short, actually. I think it's a height thing, don't you? Or this whole thing could be fucking ridiculous. There are tons of right-wing Christian senators and congresspeople that are far more supportive and will go way further to the right in supporting, violent actions by Israel even than Ben Shapiro, and have for a long fucking time. It's not like he fucking invented it. It's just that you're jumping on the fact that he's Jewish. Now do Lindsey Graham. Now do fucking John Kennedy.
Israel is the Jewish state. Why is Dave Portnoy loyal to Israel? He is Jewish. Israel is the Jewish state. Why was Miriam Adelson and her husband, Sheldon Adelson, why are they loyal to Israel?
Because that's where they stash their money. No, that's, God damn it. Yeah, I don't know. I got to tell you, I voted for the Catholic, and I voted for the Christian black dude, and then the Catholic white dude, and then the Baptist black lady last time. So I don't know what to tell you.
They are Jewish. Israel is the Jewish state.
Why have you? Okay, I answered my own question. I was about to say, why haven't you and Candace Owens had a kid already? And I was like, okay, because skin color.
Now, none of these people were born in Israel. None of these people live in Israel. None of these people, as far as we know, work for the Israeli government.
So it's an emotional support thing based on their religious beliefs. Sort of like evangelical Christians who believe that Israel has to stay in its form and the Jewish people have to return there so the Messiah can come and kill them all. Like you.
As far as we know...
Hold on. Hold on.
Now,
as far as we know, hold on.
And Polish people, loyalty to Mexico, the Jewish state. Now, none of these people were born in Israel.
Jump ahead real quick.
Citizens. They live in America, born in America, raised in America. Ostensibly, they wave the flag. They say they're patriotic. They participate in our system. And yet, by virtue of being Jewish, obviously they have affinity with Israel.
Yeah, like how your last name is Fuentes, but obviously you have an affinity for Germany in the 30s. Huh? Huh? All right.
Just like a Chinese person Maybe they never set foot in China, but probably they have some loyalty to China.
Or not, because the government maybe they view that the government puts their people down and knows that they're basically the Chinese Communist Party is wiping out traditional Chinese culture almost entirely. And if you want to find it these days, you have to go to Taiwan or fucking San Francisco. So maybe not. Maybe specifically they're more, they have that attitude towards their own people versus the country itself. They're not going to spy for a country that's putting down their relatives. Never mind.
Many of the anchor babies from Mexico have loyalty to Mexico.
The anchor babies specifically? How did they get it? Just because somebody were they taught that in a Texas school?
They speak Spanish, they wave the Mexican flag, they cheer on the Mexican soccer team. We all understand this principle. We all understand it with anybody else. We understand by any first or second generation immigrant.
Right, but it's odd that you don't accuse all those other people of being, weaponized by those governments. Even though in the case of Mexico, they get more money in trade and defense because they have to protect part of the Gulf and we have to share military secrets with them in some cases. There's probably more money that goes to those other countries you're mentioning over the years than even to Israel.
Has loyalty with their home country. And with the Jews, it's very profound. Their sense of identity is very deep and very salient and very important. And you could argue maybe even more profound. You could say they're more tribal than almost any other group.
Why would they have to be more tribal than almost any other group? I mean, I guess obviously amongst the groups that have almost been wiped out via genocide, maybe they just got a chip on their shoulder, probably, I guess.
And the international Jewish community, their identification with the supranational Jewish community.
Now do Arabs and Mecca and Medina. Just wanted you to know that there's a thread there. I don't want you to just think he's a one-note bigot. This isn't just anti-Semitism. He's got a whole other raft of them. This is just the one that's currently floated to the top of the toilet bowl.
Is unique.
That he drinks from.
And it's unique because they were a stateless people for so long. Jews identify with a global Jewish community more so than Polish people, Irish people, German people. Because unlike all those other...
Sorry, Fuentes, you're going to speak for Poles and Germans and Irish people? All
groups, right. Jewish people did not have their own country for 2,000 years. They were persecuted by almost every country for 2,000 years.
So you're saying they have a point.
And so they have a very profound and unique and deep and salient sense of a loyalty to a nation higher than the country in which they reside, and that is their Jewish nation.
Okay, by the way, Trump said this, not verbatim, but he said essentially that there are a lot of Jews that are more loyal to Israel than America. This is where he was floating around with the idea, and he said it. Now, when did he say it? He said it, curiously enough, right about the time this motherfucker started showing up in his circle. In the same way that when he first met Elon Musk and they sat down, he started talking about fast racehorses produce fast racehorses and got into eugenics and the genetics of intelligence. The reason that he started saying that is because he was parroting back what he had heard from Elon Musk. The shit about most Jews in the United States have more loyalty to Israel than they do the United States. When Trump started banding that about, now he's had issues with Jews for a long time, but he likes them counting his money. Remember at one time there were black accountants at the accountant firm that he went to, and he said he didn't want black people counting his money. He wants the guys with the small hats, meaning Jews. Same kind of thing. Like he's had that issue for a long time, but that particular line that he said is curiously like it's the bumper sticker version of this.
These are all logical things. Is this creepy? Am I creeping you out? Is this hateful?
It's dismissive and overly simplistic, and it also zeroes out any evidence to the contrary. This is what we would call in the game confirmation bias.
Foaming at the mouth, veins bulging. Is this anti-Semitic?
Yes.
Well, it depends on your definition.
My definition is being against Jews because you perceive them as a group to have an overwhelming negative trait, like every other form of bigotry. Of course, it's anti-Semitic. This whole all it points out to me is that you might be anti-Irish, anti-German, and anti-Chinese equally as well. I don't even know what you're for at this point.
According to the Holocaust Remembrance Institute, if you say that Jesus Christ was crucified by Jewish people, that's anti-Semitic. So who even...
Right, he was actually crucified by the Romans, the Jews, that didn't believe he was the Messiah, that were, by the way, handpicked by the Romans to make sure that the Zachary Jews or whatever continued fighting amongst everybody over whose Messiah was right, that they wanted that infighting to continue. So they handpicked which rabbis would run the Jewish temples in the area. So yeah. Yes, that's anti-Semitic.
Knows what that means. Needless to say, though, all these things are true. Now...
No, they're not. No, they aren't. This is also a big part of how this guy argues, and this is a big part of how Tucker Carlson argues, and this might be why they're at each other's throats, because when it comes to dipshit gaslighting, oversimplification, there can be only one, and that's the fight. Now, that's a little taste of what this asshole is like, okay? That's his general sales pitch. There is where is it? All right.
Why did Charlie Kirk have a Dave Smith?
All right. So this is the part that I think we all can enjoy in this infighting. Derp. This is here.
It's 2025 and we are not buying it. We are not buying what you're selling. Not Tucker, not Charlie Kirk. And maybe you're starting to understand now this containment unit. Why did Charlie Kirk have a Dave Smith?
Oh man, you can't play a fucking Aussie clip in the background and get a copyright strike on me, you asshole.
Josh Hammer debate at Turning Point SAS. Why did he host a struggle session? What about that conversation between him and Tucker Carlson, where Tucker said, we need to talk about Epstein.
Hold on. There we go. I'm going to break these up.
To avoid ceding control of the narrative.
To avoid ceding control of the negative.
To the subterranean Jew haters.
And that means Nick Fuentes, by the way. Subterranean Jew haters.
Now are you starting to see some commonalities? Are you
Yes, I think you're all awful. God damn it! I have to find one version of that where he isn't playing Ozzy in the background like a fucking prick. But the two of them, where is this? Let's see. Tiger Khan is gay. How about this? This is yeah. Here you go. This is you hate to see it, but you kind of don't. Here you go.
In Syria. You had to take that guy out. And Nick Fuentes, this weird little gay kid in his basement in Chicago, is participating in a super PAC to bump off Joe Kent. Like, I've been around this my whole life. I know what that is. It's just an organized effort.
Yeah.
And he also did the thing that David Duke.
By the way, I don't think she asked what is a super PAC. And it's just great that Tucker Carlson immediately went to, this woman can't possibly know what a super PAC is. Now, granted, he'd been talking to her for a period of time at this point, so he may have come to the conclusion that, oh my God, this woman is just as fucking stupid as I thought she was, and therefore he might, all assumptions are off the fucking table.
Always did. Including to me, which is be like, oh, yeah, it's my friend. And everyone's like, oh, Tucker Carlson's been endorsed by David Duke. I've been making the anti-racist argument my whole life.
This was the moment where Candace realized she had no idea where her car keys were.
Like, I'm not for David Duke. Do I think David Duke is right when he's against affirmative action? You bet I do. But I'm not for David Duke. But David Duke would try to discredit people by hugging them.
Oh, that's the worst.
And that's exactly what Fuentes did. He goes out there and meet all these people. Show up, hi, I'm Nick Fuentes. Can I get my picture with you? That's a campaign to destroy credible voices on the right.
Ouch.
And Fuentes is part of it. And I know I'm inviting endless trouble by saying this because, you know, this is a kid with a lot of spare time, but it's just a
damn
fact. And I've seen it a lot.
Yeah.
And I
By the way, all three of these motherfuckers have nothing but spare time. Get the fuck out of here. I live stream every day. These motherfuckers have podcasts that they do when they wanna. And crews, in the case of Tucker, giant crews that they can call up anytime they want, and effectively endless money for this shit. Good Lord.
You can believe me or not, but
not.
I know what I'm talking about.
I can confirm he's dishonest. I mean, there's no, so it's like you use that.
Aha! I can confirm he's dishonest. Why? Because he pretended to take what you said for as wrote. Anyways, so then, is this the whole
Joe
case?
Kent, Dave Smith, and me?
Okay, sorry. Yeah, hold on. There's the part where he's called, where he pushes back on being called gay. It's just, it is so choice. Let's see. Tucker Carlson comes in wearing a gay in his basement. There you go. Okay, yeah, here you go. This is where he accidentally confirms it. Hold on. This is the part that people are talking about. This bit.
And you know what? Here's the other thing. Tucker Carlson said I'm a weird gay kid in the basement. Yeah, and I'm from Chicago. You're right. And you know what? Here's the other thing.
Yeah.
Tucker Carlson said I'm a weird gay kid in the basement. Yeah, and I'm from Chicago. You're right. And you know,
that's the part where people are like, and you know, look, do we have a problem with people being themselves here? Absolutely not. And if Nick sees this, I think you and Tucker should have a dance off, and here's your theme song.
what? Here's the other thing. Tucker Carlson said I'm a weird gay kid in the basement. Yeah, and I'm from Chicago. You're right. And you know what? Here's the other thing. Tucker Carlson said I'm a weird gay kid in the basement. Yeah, and I'm from Chicago. You're right. And you know what? Here's the other thing. And you know what? Here's the other. And you know what? Here's the. And you know what? Here's the other thing. Tucker Carlson said I'm a weird gay kid in the basement. Here's the other thing. And I'm from Chicago. You're right. Kid in the basement. Tucker Carlson said I'm a weird gay kid in the basement. Yeah, and I'm from Chicago. You're right. Kid in the basement. And you know what? Here's the other thing.
So, you can't go wrong, kids. I gotta say, it is incredibly freeing. When you look at the, the right and how sensitive, supposedly they're all, butch as fuck and they're alpha males and yada yada. And yet they are so fucking sensitive about the accusations of them being gay. And it's so freeing not to have that reaction. I gotta say, like, I like, it wouldn't, because there's nothing shameful about being gay. So, like, let's just start there. We're all like, you could kind of dismantle someone's insult if you don't consider it an insult in the first place. And if you do and you really overreact to it, then you look like you might be just self-hating or at some point, I guess. Yeah, Twink Fuentes, right. Well, that was the, that's where he's been like posting pictures of himself. Hey, Tucker, I am not an angry gay kid. I am, in fact, very happy. That's him having a Sunday. I don't know what that is, but there you go. These are, and I want to say, let's see. Tucker gay impersonation. I guess this is the other part of it. And then we'll get on to these next. Yeah. Where is it? Okay, Tucker Carlson. He's got a Nick Fuentes. I'll just do the. Sorry. Fuentes Tucker. It'll be in here somewhere. I'll find it. Where he's like calling out. Oh yeah, here it is. This is I think one of the standout moments, and then we'll move on or whatever. But I gotta say, as a side hobby, watching these guys chomp each other's balls is really funny. But this is Nick Fuentes commenting on this sort of obvious irony, I guess, of Tucker Carlson calling him gay. Here you go.
Between me and Tucker, one of us is going to call the other gay. I mean, really? Like, let's just stop with the pretense. You know, me and Tucker, I don't think either of us are the epitome of like macho alpha males. You're going to call me gay and then you're going to go, oh, like, really? The bow tie daddy's boy Tucker with the girls laugh. You're calling me gay? I don't think any of us really have a leg to stand on that one.
While, again, I would like to point out, not denying it. Not at all. So maybe he would lighten up if he just came out of the closet.
I love that feeling. Zipper hoods have got the goods. Owie, owie, oh. Points and thongs and vests and thongs. Woo, I love that feeling. Zipper hoods have
just
got
stop
the goods.
with the pretense. You know, me and Tuck, I don't think either of us are the epitome of like macho alpha males. You're gonna call me gay and then you're gonna go, oh, like, really? And you're gonna go, oh, like, really? And then you're gonna go, oh, like, really? The bow tie daddy's boy Tucker with the girls laugh. You're calling me gay, and then you're gonna go, oh, like, really? And then you're gonna go, oh, like, and then you're gonna go, oh, like, really? The bow tie daddy's boy Tucker with the girls laugh. You're calling me gay, and then you're gonna go, oh, and then you're gonna go, oh, like, really? The bow tie daddy's boy Tucker with the girl, and then you're gonna go, oh, like, really?
I like the new dance remix. I gotta say, oh, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The ferocity, the claws are out, ladies. They're going at each other. So, and that's not going away anytime soon. I would like to say, for the record, that is going to be an ongoing problem for Tuckums and his crowd. Especially, yeah, I agree. Especially considering that Tucker.
I like wood.
You know what I mean? There's really no
deeper and longer.
It's hard for both of them to sort of deal with that, I think.
I like wood.
You know? But we'll see. We'll see. That should make the rounds, I guess. I'd also like to, you know, maybe it's one of Fuentes' broken clock moments, but the is kind of amazing. Like, I wouldn't even go with gay. I would go, I'm fairly certain he's an elderly woman. Like, we've gone past sexuality to, like, postmenopausal gender transformation. So, all right. Now, speaking of postmenopausal transformations, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know what's inside the mind of a pedophile, look no further than Roseanne Barr. I mean, Roseanne. Not saying that she is. I'm just saying, if you someone who uniquely understands how a pedophile's mind works. Like, I find it puzzling, as do many of you. You're like, what the fuck? I don't get it. Well, thank God, when it comes to how pedophiles live and breathe and what their drive and motivation is and what they want in the world, no one understands it that's alive and maybe wasn't killed in prison better than Roseanne. They pedos want divide and conquer, is what this says. And this is her with this guy Nick Bryant, who is one of these people I don't think, who occasionally brings up the Trump part, and she just misses it entirely. Let's see.
And he took his cut.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, I
too.
think so, which was substantial.
I think it was
Wait. Who the fuck starts their clip there? And he took his cut, the guy, and then he's just laying on the floor, and then there's like blood everywhere, and then we're like, anyways, next topic.
far more than, it's just all the criminal enterprises that the CIA and all the Five Eyes and all the intelligence. I mean, that's just where all the criminals are. And all you
Sure. Yeah. Do you don't think it's a little bit convenient to find like secretive agencies and automatically assume that's where all the criminals are? Like they fly to it like a fucking bug light, but somehow they it's a ubiquitous thing. It's in every. They can run the world. They're in every business, and they find pedos to blackmail in every industry: insurance, Wall Street. Amusement parks, obviously, water treatment plants, putt-putt miniature golf, they're just everywhere. But the power ones only congregate in the CIA and I suppose probably the Vatican and the G7.
have to do is call yourself a contractor or somebody in intelligence, and it's like you have a pass for everything.
No, you actually don't. Now, I'm fairly certain you would have to have some that if you did allegedly belong to intelligence, like it has been alleged that Epstein did, that it would require more than just his say so. Yeah.
You're never going to be arrested. You're never going to be called on the carpet.
He was literally arrested. I mean, maybe what are you talking about? Trump now?
Everything's covered by.
Also, when did this motherfucker buy a digital drum kit and move into the Brady Bunch house? What?
Security. When you got to.
Can you rent it? Is that what's happening? Is he living on a sitcom set from 1978?
The national security get out of jail free card gets played quite often.
Also, can I say for the record, I've never seen a more serial killer den in my life. This is who's your fucking decorator? Robert McCall from The Equalizer? Bet you have one fork, don't you? And you clean it right after you eat and put it back in a tray wrapped in a napkin? You nutcase.
And it was played with Epstein, for sure. I mean, Alexander Costa was told to back away because he was intelligence. So
no, he wasn't. Unconfirmed. Get your shit right. If he was, then he was. But if that's your go-to, stop. Go find more evidence. It's just a way of letting him off the hook and letting Trump off the hook. No, it wasn't. Who gives a shit if Acosta backed off because he belonged to intelligence? Trump rewarded him with a fucking job. Stop. I don't give a fuck. We could have gone after this motherfucker a lot harder if he'd have just gone into the background what the fuck happened to Alex Acosta, the guy who gave the deal to him? Oh, he's in the fucking White House.
the CIA would have invariably, if Acosta had rebelled, I think the CIA would have invariably had to play its get out of free card, get out of jail.
Yeah, get out of free card, sure.
Free card.
Yeah, he would have had to.
Get out of free card? Sorry, is that a Diddy thing? I'm not up to the get out of free card. Get out of free card. It's an interesting Freudian slip.
Have shot himself several times in the back of the head, as they so often do.
The Clinton suicide. Can I say something real quick, Mom? Do you mind?
Go for it.
I just want to point out a really important note, and
it's not that Donald Trump was Jeffrey Epstein's best friend for 25 years, and it even gave quotes in newspapers that he was aware the guy fucks young girls. It's not going to be that, is it? It's just not.
It's my bias making me do this, but I still think it's important. The divide and conquer strategy, because the American people actually
Oh, I see. Because MAGA's eating its chewing its own ass over this. So it's got to be. It can't just be that half these motherfuckers are waking up to the fact that they've been sold a bill of goods, and the other half are intentionally avoiding reality so that they can hide from it. It can't possibly be that. It's got to be that they've got a strategy to only convince half of MAGA that Donald Trump is hiding something when he's actively fucking hiding something. I mean, if they could do anything, it wouldn't be that they would wake up that group. It's that they would try to keep everybody asleep, right? Because if they've got control of him, why would they lose it? Unless they have more control of J.D. Vance and they're going to use that. And so they've got, Trump as a wild card, right? That's probably what
world population, like you said, with EpsteinJustice.org. We do have power. So it's very important to the people, the evil people in power that are trafficking in children, to keep us divided. And that is one of the things that we do here on the Roseanne Barr podcast, is we always fight against these tropes or these things that divide us. We get a lot.
What the fuck are you what? No, you don't. You think she brings people together, you fucking lunatic? What?
A lot of heat for it. But just be careful when you're.
How do you take heat for trying to build bridges? That you take heat for being full of shit? Maybe. What the?
Mad at a certain group or a religious affiliation or a country, you are being played. And me and my mom want you to understand that we have to focus, like my mom always says.
Like my mom always says. My mama says.
The people
that it's good to be factual. No, that's probably not what he's going to say.
Top that are actually responsible for all the evil. And I just wanted to say that. Thank you for letting me do it.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's the problem, though. Because I'm always on the run. Always on the run!
But it's so funny how so many of the people, we're talking about anti-Semitism because we're Jews.
One of many things. That's one thing. But it happens on every faith.
Yeah, everybody has their own anti-Semitism that they have to deal with. It's just anti-Semitism when, aimed at Jews is particularly going. I get anti-Semitic things, pointed my direction all the time. But being that I'm not Jewish, it's only an 18th of the burden. Is that the argument?
But it is one of the interesting things because the people.
It is interesting. Thank you. Don't let him bring people together, Roseanne. Drive that wedge in. Make a point about the differences. Oh, this is so good.
Leveling the charges against the Jews are themselves complicit in a far huger way than the Jews.
Yes, far huger.
Will ever be. And I'm talking about the Catholic Church, the UN.
Mm-hmm.
There she is building those bonds again. I could just, Kumbaya, my Lord. You guys can hear that in the background, right? Kumbaya.
Octagon in Switzerland, and
the Octagon is in Switzerland? I thought it was like a traveling thing the UFC put up. Or are we talking about, are they remaking the David Carradine Chuck Norris movie? I hope so, / don't.
Islam itself. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Thank you. What we're trying to do, they're trying to align you with your religious group or your country affiliation. We're trying to bring people together because what they want to do is divide us all. And then, yeah, but the Catholic Church and the Muslims and the, fuck, Ma. That's why I live in the old Brady Bunch set, so I can have the illusion of a normal family life.
Trust me, and how easy it is for everybody to go down the same old medieval pathways that end in destruction of all, well, they're called Christian democracies, which is what they are, but...
First of all, we're not a Christian democracy. We'll set that aside for a second. Thirdly, how many democracies do you think there were before this one? Historically.
That's the takedown of every Christian democracy, and people don't seem to see that. And it makes me very angry. And, you know, the fact that they tried to turn this into being Israel operation, or as Candace Owen says, Israel's operation really pisses.
Oh, Candace Owens. I got to say, this is progress. You know, a lot of people say we haven't been making progress, but a Jewish millionaire old lady calling a black podcaster a Klan member, I feel like we've come a long way, baby. Candace Owens. I think the Klan would have an issue maybe with her joining. I don't know. I haven't seen the entry form lately. Maybe they've made some updates.
Me off because, I mean, I know you don't want to say, but I will.
Yes, because he's the one who's supposed to tell people that you're bringing people together.
The fucking royal family of England is complicit in Epstein Island. And, you know, the prince was there. Come on.
Andrew.
I mean, they don't want us to see all the way to the top. They don't want us to look at Catholic charities and the trafficking of children across our borders, which they alone are responsible for.
Sorry. Catholic charities are trafficking children across our border, and they are the primary group doing it, or the only group doing it. Sorry, not even the primary, not the lead group.
They only want they want to farm our minds so that we play into their
Well, I don't think you have anything to worry about then, because no one throws their seeds on sand.
Called the Fourth Reich. And it is of a fascist world takeover, and they got to get rid of America because we stand in their way. So that's why I'm happy to hear that there are Americans waking up that know that America is all that stands in the way of worldwide fascism, and that they know that we have the laws to protect ourselves and the world from it. All we have to do is work it, like they say in AA. It works if you work it, and we've got to work it.
Work it, girl, work.
Well said.
The United States has something that's really beautiful that a lot of countries don't have. We have the First Amendment.
Hooters. Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to say, like, you know, chain restaurants. Damn it.
And all our freedoms are essentially predicated on the First Amendment.
Like the Second Amendment is to protect the First Amendment. Come on.
No, it isn't. The Second Amendment is to protect the existence of the country itself. If the Congress passed a law limiting or changing the First Amendment and it was ratified by the states, you wouldn't shoot your way out of it. So no. It's there to make sure that that things are ratified and drafted legally in a constitutional way. You can change the Constitution and not fire a shot.
Right?
And we have to come together as Americans.
That's like saying the Second Amendment is there to make sure the ERA doesn't become an amendment.
Americans. I mean, our leaders are going to take us off a cliff.
Sorry, your leaders.
That's right.
I really believe that.
They want to. They're getting paid to do it.
But again, can you not say Trump's fucking name now? Notice, again, this goes back to that whole thing about how it's always the fucking when Trump's in charge, it's the government that wants to do it. When Biden's in charge or Obama's in charge or it might be Hillary or it might be Harris, it's them, their names. Biden's going to do this, going to destroy them. But when Trump's in charge and he's doing the things that they said Democrats were going to do but didn't even propose, he's doing these fucking things. And suddenly it's not Trump is going to blah, it's the government. It's not Kash Patel running the FBI. It's the fucking FBI. When it's not Kash Patel in charge, Comey wants to, Chris Wray is trying to. You notice how they do this? Every fucking time. All right, now, I have too much shit to jump in on. Now, there is a divide no matter how much Roseanne wants to fix it, eliminate it, or make it worse. I can't quite tell. Cannot Roseanne buy Trump to retire? Oh, no, not at all. She's not anywhere near the kind of money he would want to have. Okay, so remember this young lady? She used to get a sort of a front row. She was one of these people who during the 2016 campaign was asking, was one of the first people to ask a leading pro-Trump question, basically there to, draw the conversation in the direction that Trump's team wanted, right? Okay, this is on the Orange Anus Network, growing divide with MAGA movement over Ukraine.
Well, it's time for the MAGA pulse check, and tonight,
yes, it is.
This pulse check is this: the growing divide within the.
Oh no, it's not. Really? There's a growing divide.
MAGA movement over Ukraine. Now, the catalyst for all of this.
Not Epstein? Not over the Epstein files? Because I know the Epstein files, there are a lot of Epstein files. They said they were going to release the Epstein files, and then he said there aren't any. And then he's going to release the grand jury testimony because that's not the actual evidence in the files even for that. Yeah. So you say it's Ukraine. Okay.
President Trump's recent decision to resume weapons shipments to Kiev and impose retaliatory tariffs.
Kiev. Notice she went right back to the original Russian pronunciation.
On India for its continued Russian oil trade. The reaction from key MAGA figures has been immediate.
Oh, dear. You don't lean in and say.
Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh, sorry. You lost me at woman. Okay, go ahead.
Publicly rebuked the move, warning that American resources.
Saying, quote, sorry. I'm taking it seriously. This is serious business. They're coming apart at the seams. This is sad. Sorry. I don't think you guys understand how depressing this is for them.
Are again being diverted to foreign entanglements, an allegation she has maintained for months against President Zelensky of Ukraine. Here she was as far back as May.
The money's been stolen. This is pure money laundering. Our weapons have been stolen and sold to our enemies. The American people are not responsible for what happened in Ukraine. The American people did not bomb Ukraine. The American people did not murder Ukrainians. The American people should not be on the hook for their security, prosperity, and reconstruction.
She's making some sound points, but
she is making some sound points. These are sound points. Why? I haven't been this sad since Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson had a gay off. It's so sad. I don't know what? Take it back. It's fine. We're good.
It goes on. She's recently also criticized Trump's refusal to cancel the H-1B visa program.
Yeah, that was weird. That was like right out of the gate. Too many Indian Americans showing up. What are these Indians showing up? Why do we have so many Indians? Have you seen these people? They're like white black people. It's freaking me out. Like, that's basically her response.
Calling it a betrayal of America First priorities. Now,
yeah, it's almost like he never really had those priorities in the first place, and you're a sucker and a moron. So.
Conservative radio host Michael Savage wants a stalwart.
Excuse me, Michael Weiner. Let me tell you something, kids. Michael Savage's real name is Michael Weiner. Michael Savage. Michael Savage's real name is Michael Allen Weiner. And I have to say, Allen is a perfectly good name until you put it between Michael and Weiner. And then it makes Weiner worse. Michael Allen Weiner, which is like the lamest serial killer ever. Michael Allen Weiner. That's his name. So anytime, yes. So, and I have said for a long time, hey man, I get it. I get it. If my name was Weiner, I would change it too. But I would not change my name to Michael Weiner. I would change my first name to Savage, not the other way around. I wouldn't be Michael Savage. I'd be Savage Weiner. And then I would have a guaranteed career in whatever I wanted. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome Savage Weiner! All right, that's enough. I'm trying to be serious here. These people are falling apart at the seams. They're having a crisis of identity. Do you know how hard it is to manage the collapse of an entire political movement while you're using other issues while you're trying to hide from the issue that's making it collapse in the first place? Hal Savage Weiner is Hal's stripper name. You damn straight it is. Ladies and gentlemen, Savage Weiner! Right, okay, here we go. Now, what's, sorry, she was saying Weiner when we left her last.
Trump ally has issued a pointed critique as well.
A pointed Weiner critique. Sorry.
Accusing the former president of drifting from the movement and outlining 7 ways Trump has alienated his base.
Alienated. All right, sure. I'm not quite sure what that word means, but I'm going to go with alienated and pretend you didn't say that.
Unlikely bedfellows. However, defend President Trump's strategy of escalating pressure on Russia.
Sorry, one second. Trump voters who I spoke with say this. So he didn't say it. His critique came from the voters that he was speaking to. These are people who called into the Big Wiener show that he has. 1, escalating instead of diffusing the Ukraine-Russia war. 2, pushing a bloated pork barrel spending bill and attacking Musk at the same time. All right. 3, hiding the Epstein list. 4, firing the labor statistic chief who refused to back down. That's interesting that even charted. 5, unconditional support for Netanyahu's war. That also, shockingly, I think we should take some of these as wins because apparently they're in agreement with us about a few of these things. 6, accepting a plane from Qatar, which will cost $1 billion to retrofit. 7, building a gilded ballroom in the White House. No, they will not vote for a Dem, but may sit out the next election in protest. Look, I don't want to celebrate. It is sad. But they've come to this. It's so sad. But you could feel for them while at the same time recognizing that they're a bunch of morons. So, all right. Continuing.
7 ways Trump has alienated his base.
7 ways to alienate your base.
Unlikely bedfellows. However, defend
Back Netanyahu, Lou.
President Trump's strategy of escalating pressure on Russia while avoiding direct escalation. A CNN report praised his use of nuclear submarine deployments to signal strength without...
Okay, I got to tell you that the highlighting all the lines in yellow is a bit weird. We can see them. It makes it harder to read, but it is the last fortnight that Trump's decisions and realizations have turned into this problem he now owns. He has seen Putin does not want peace. He has seen Ukraine urgently needs arms, and he tried to help, albeit in a lackluster way. He made the remarkable choice of responding to the usually dismissed nuclear saber-rattling of former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev, with harder nuclear threats about positioning U.S. nuclear submarines closer to Russia. The U.S. went from pausing military aid to Ukraine to threatening nuclear force against Russia in less than a month. Yeah, Ukraine is now Trump's war. Is that he escalated it. It didn't go this far under Biden.
Overcommitting U.S. forces. And among President Trump's purported allies, Lindsey Graham, speaking directly to Zelensky earlier this year, cheered on President Trump's strategy of staking U.S. business interests in Ukraine in the form of rare earth minerals deal to justify continued weapons shipments to Ukraine, which Lindsey Graham praised Zelensky for putting to good use.
I want to tell you and your people, you're the ally I've been hoping for all my life. Not one American has died defending Ukraine. You've taken our weapons and you've kicked their ass. And I'm very proud to have you as our ally. So let's arm this guy. Let's do the minerals agreement so we'll have our American business interests. Putin doesn't understand what's going on. If we sign this minerals agreement, Putin is screwed because Trump will defend the deal.
Ooh, not a good move.
But he did. Trump did.
Lindsey Graham is defending this position. Now,
he's a Republican lady.
Here's someone slightly better. You've got Mark.
I understand there should have been a comma in there, not he's a Republican lady. I'm just, never mind.
Levin talking about those who cried World War III just a month ago.
Quit it. Just quit it. You know who quit it.
Oh, and just how wrong they all were. Listen.
What happened to World War III? There is no World War III.
Well, I mean, we did just send nukes to Russia's fucking coastline. But anyways, okay. I guess it was supposed to happen overnight.
They all sound like a bunch of Marxist Islamists. They don't sound like patriotic Americans. Let me be clear. This is good
He's talking about you, Chanel.
Versus evil. You're either a patriotic American who's going to get behind the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, or you're not.
We have now, joining us, is host of the Alec Lace Show. Alec Lace. Alec.
Oh, nice. So you've done that thing on OAN where nobody will come on as a guest, so you start interviewing the other hosts on the network to help you fill time during this crater of ratings.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is such a sticky wicket issue, and I know
it is. It's a sticky wicket.
You've been noticing it too. It is a divergence inside the movement.
Yeah, it's a divergence. That's a good one. Yeah, we're both going in separate directions together. So,
how do you think it's going to resolve itself?
Well, I think it plays right into the Democrats' hands. They love to see this infighting within the MAGA crowd, so they're going to take the talking points that they like, and they're going to really emphasize those when they can. But these are complicated issues. I think that you're dealing with two of the most corrupt people on the planet when you have Zelensky and Putin and trying to figure out how to deal with all this stuff. I think there needs to be an audit of all the money we've sent to Ukraine to see where it actually went. But I think Trump came into this, into this game in the fourth quarter with all the starters removed, and he's getting buried. So he has to try to figure out a way to kind of make this thing happen. He promised he would end the war on day one. It didn't work out the way he planned. So now he's trying to figure out a way out of it. He's supposed to be talking to Putin soon. So hopefully he gets it resolved. The American people don't want to be funding these foreign wars. We don't want to see our money going to rebuild Ukraine.
Yes.
And we don't want to hear people like Lindsey Graham talking about... Also, for the record, speak for your fucking self. Yeah, I do. I do want the Ukrainian people defended. We can help, and we should. I would also argue that we should have a bigger footprint in stopping the war in Israel and Gaza, and I think we should have a bigger material footprint in the Sudanese war, along with the UN and our allies as peacekeeping forces in there. Fuck yes, boots on the ground, and certainly drones and other available technology at the very fucking least. Even just monitoring the Sudanese war so that war crimes can't fucking happen. And delivering aid to the refugees that have been put out. So, fuck you, yes I do. It does matter to me. That's who I fucking voted for last time, and the time before that, and the time before that. Fuck you. I'm an American. I'm a Democrat. I live in this country. I was born here. I have every right to say what I feel about this. And this whole idea, like, Americans, we don't want... No. Sorry. 60% of Americans, including the majority of Republicans, want us to support Ukraine. So you're like fucked up little shoebox network that gets a bunch of fucking Russian money It can bitch all you want about the fact that your benefactor is getting their dick tucked in their own asshole, and then lay it off on us. Wait, HAL wants boots on the ground in Sudan. No, I want UN peacekeepers as part of a peace strategy there. I would rather have technology there. First and foremost, let's be clear. Let me clarify that so you guys know what I'm talking about, because it's one of those things where strategically, here's what I think we should be doing. The UN, and along with the United States, should have a drone presence over the Sudanese battle zone so that they can keep civilian deaths to a minimum and keep track of and even observe the battles that are going on. Right? And there should be pressure put on both sides to bring it to a close as quickly as possible, if that makes sense. And then we should have our military people protecting foodstuffs going to the refugee camps, right? Which are, some are inside the country, some are outside of Sudan, right? And outside in Darfur, right? That would make sense. That's what I'm, with the UN and other peacekeepers. There you go. Genuinely. Yep. You drove for a smart drone president. Well, I'm just saying, that was one of the things that people would have had to deal with their, if Bernie Sanders had won, bless his heart, I guarantee he would have used drones in a war zone, and most of his support would have fallen apart. And he would have done it because drones don't come home in a flag-draped coffin, period. All right, so there you go. That's my idea. Just like I think in Gaza, we should love bomb them with food so that Hamas can't control the populace and manipulate people and control who gets food and who doesn't if there's too much food to begin with. So if the idea is that you need aid to like 3,000 calories a day per Gazan, you dump 12,000 to 20,000 calories worth of stuff all over that area so that Hamas wouldn't even have enough places to fucking store it, much less limit people's access to it. They couldn't, people don't have to line up for it. There's too much food. And you airdrop it in so you avoid guns and shit getting in the trucks and stuff. Put more than you can eat. I'm telling you. That's how you would solve it. Love bomb them. Your boots on the ground statement got people what? Got a no from me. Thanks for clarifying. Yeah, I don't mean soldiers, for the record. I think we need support staff and UN peacekeepers, largely to quell that, because it's been blazing on, and there's more deaths in that war than there have been in Israel, Gaza. But like I said, most of these fuckers don't care because it's all black people and no Jews. They couldn't care less if they keep getting killed.
Ukraine and stuff there. We have people that are suffering here in the United States. So I think that's part of the problem.
My conflict here is...
Yeah, but he's cutting shit at home. It's not like they're cutting shit from other places and then they're going, we're going to take that money and directly give it. And by the way, they'll fucking try. At some point, the White House is going to make a big story of, we cut $1 billion worth of this, and we're going to hand deliver this $1 billion to, food areas, food deserts in the United States. The problem is there's so much contempt on the right for people who are poor or disabled or find themselves behind the eight ball that delivering that money will seem like government overreach, and they should just give a dividend back. These people just want, like Ted Nugent keeps saying, I want my money back. That bullshit. Okay, the reason he thinks, he thinks that way is he doesn't want us to not give money to Ukraine so that we can build schools or hospitals in the United States. Fuck that. He just wants his cash. Just so you know, this has nothing about this patriotic, my fellow American bullshit is nonsense.
I don't think I ever want to be on the side of Lindsey Graham. That said, I mean...
But you are on the side of Jeffrey Epstein right now and Ghislaine Maxwell.
Marjorie Taylor Greene makes some excellent points, but I don't totally agree with her. I
Wow, so the rift is happening inside Chanel Rion.
believe that we have in President Trump a totally different leader, someone who...
Yeah, it's a great way to put it. Sorry, a totally different leader who's doing exactly the opposite of what he said. So he's just a regular politician, is what you're saying.
In fact, is not going to send us into endless wars.
For all our viewers,
he won't be sending us into endless wars. First of all, based on what? Second of all, based on what? Third of all, Epstein. Now, apparently, I don't know if you know this, but Dems have gone nuclear and blown up our own donkey, according to the spitting image doll that is filling in for Jesse Waters, who ages a year for every time his mother calls. So this is stop what you're doing and hide. What if you're already hiding? Like, I think most Republicans are like that. Stop what you're doing and hide because Dems have gone nuclear. He's got to be being ironic, yes? Well, I mean, I guess, all right. This must be, all right, I'll be afraid, but only right out of the gate. Don't promise a lot and then not scare the shit out of me. I'm going to be very disappointed if I'm not terrified within 2 minutes. It's a big sales pitch.
Stop what you're doing and duck under your desk. Democrats are saying the N-word.
This is very dangerous. That everything we're doing right now smacks of the Cold War. And what we're talking about is launching nukes at each other. If you launch missiles at us, we have to launch missiles at you, and it will never end.
Countries don't.
Yeah, that sounds like someone talking about how you don't want to go nuclear, right? That this is a bad road to go down. I think that guy was making an argument against the redistricting shit. But keep in mind, Jesse Waters is the stupids and has a very difficult time understanding the wordses.
Threaten to use nukes when their very survival's at stake. The fact that Democrats are threatening to go nuclear is a tell.
I want the country to have a completely nonpartisan drawing of the lines based on the census. But if they're going to do that and go nuclear, so am I.
Have you noticed what Democrats have been willing to die for? Trump basically banned windmills. No reaction.
He didn't ban windmills. But we didn't react because he didn't ban windmills. What the fuck?
Remember global warming was going to end the world? Guess not.
Yeah, it's a time-based thing, and we obviously know that Trump isn't going to do anything for it. This is an election issue. What are they supposed to do? Go up there with a fucking take a refrigerator up in a rowboat to the Arctic and open the door to cool off the ice? I got more solar panels on my house this year, motherfucker. How about them apples?
Firebomb Teslas. Why?
Who's they, motherfucker? Please play my video. Please play my video.
They did that because Doge discovered USAID.
No, I think it has to do with like the Nazi salute and the cutting of aid to Americans, as well as, of course, refugee aid as well. Also, they didn't really get rid of USAID. They folded it into the State Department to hide the fact that most Republicans even know that it's necessary. That wasn't why they firebombed it. Like, none of them put a sign out that said, this is for USAID, I think, right? I think it was partly because he was getting access to all of our private information, like the Epstein files. Thanks for bringing it up.
That was their little...
Oh, yeah, you're right. Hold on one second. I should probably... 1 second. Give me 1 second. This is a... Gonna take this. There we go. Save that image. Open this up. Go to here. Hey, I want to do it? Okay, hold on. Open link in new tab. Just do it this way. So let me... should be able to shrink this down, right? And take this like this. There we go. I feel like we just put this right here. Okay, sorry. You were saying. Continue.
Money laundering racket. They went to the mattresses for that. When else did Democrats get violent?
I haven't.
ICE raids.
Those weren't Democrats, for the record. Those people don't vote Democrat. They did not vote. And that's one of the, they have either removed themselves from the electoral process entirely, or they are too far left of Democrats to vote in the first place. The ones that got violent. The people who protested, who were not violent, I would argue, Democrats.
Decided to keep illegals. Now, why did...
Or to keep these roundups happening for, especially the ones that involve like a 4-year-old with cancer.
They want to keep illegals here so badly. Political power.
Why? They can't vote.
Illegals.
Honestly, why do businesses want to keep illegals here so badly? Economic power.
Kids will vote Democrat. But also, illegals are counted in the census, and the census determines congressional districts. So the more illegals you have in New York and California, the more House seats Democrats get. These are the three...
Yeah, but that's true of Texas as well. What states have the most undocumented workers in them? Where do you see these roundups happening? I mean, downtown Los Angeles has been a big noise, but partly because they didn't fucking find anybody. They did round up about 100 people in a processing plant in Nebraska, though, didn't they? They did round up a bunch of fucking people in Texas. And it's interesting to me that Texas complains about it the most in the volume of people that are there, and yet the raids don't happen there. Or when they do, they don't make the news. They're on the down low. Because the numbers are pitifully small, and the businesses in Texas need the workers.
Legs to the Democrat barstool. USAID, illegals, and gerrymandering.
I was thinking like healthcare, labor rights, and education.
We are in a fight for democracy, a fight for our democratic lives. And I think that if the Republicans can have their will in these deep red states, the Democratic states have to step up. We have to have a national fight about this.
Now,
What would the national fight be about, Jesse?
Do you see why them losing a few House seats in Texas turned into a national fight?
Wasn't about them losing them. It's about the Republicans getting rid of them on purpose. Also, there's no guarantee that they will lose them. There's a very strong chance you eliminate some of those, that the people that are in the districts next door suddenly either have to stop singing the MAGAt song or they get replaced. That you can no longer have a staunch Republican like Chip Roy in fucking Austin without the gerrymandering that exists. And if you carve those districts out of those areas where you've got like Democratic representation in those states, that's going to seed. You're not getting rid of those voters. You're spreading them out to an area that is not 60-40. It's 52-48.
Now do you see why they're dropping the N-word? Barack Obama has been very quiet, but he came out with a blistering attack on Texas. Barry knows. The Raging Cajun is taking this so seriously that he's threatening to colonize an island.
If the Democrats win the presidency, the Senate, and the House in 2028, which is not impossible.
Oh, make Puerto Rico a state? That's colonizing an island? Okay, anybody who's ever used colonizing as an argument, on our side of the aisle, you cool with Jesse Waters borrowing that phrase, borrowing that word, borrowing that ethic? Yeah.
They are just going to have to unilaterally add Puerto Rico and the District of Columbia states, and they may have to expand the court to 13 members. If you want to save democracy, I think you got to do all of those things.
Pack the court? Add 2 Democrat states?
Sure. I mean, why don't you think you can compete in both of those places? Why would they become automatically Democratic? There's a lot of Catholics in Puerto Rico, right? They're pro-life.
50.
You just don't want them because they're brown.
52 stars on the flag. Why?
Because they deserve it? Because they're basically states without actual states' rights at this point? How about the Virgin Islands while you're at it?
Just because Texas is redrawing some lines? This type of battle...
No, not just because. No. First of all, putting, the, Trump loyalists in lifetime positions in the court is a big part of this. Effectively, we're going to have to rewrite some of the laws to make them, to limit the executive branch, and we're going to need a lot of fucking Democrats to do it. because Republicans won't. Even if it means a Democrat has those extraordinary powers. You know why? Because they know a Democrat won't use them.
Cry to save democracy is reaching the same fever pitch that we heard right before Butler. Now, some people...
Wow. You fucking wish.
People say, let's only kick out the criminal illegals. Let's...
Yes. Yeah, that... And by the way, nobody said just. Start there. But Trump can't even do that right.
Wait till 2030 to redistrict. Let's just chill on Doge. You're playing into their hands.
Yeah, you're playing in their hands. You can't chill on Doge. Doge is self-chilling. What?
The Democrat Party has waged unrelenting political warfare.
Aw. You gonna be okay?
For 3 decades.
Unrelenting political warfare for 3 decades. You know, what was the big shot across the bow? They made a black dude president. Jesse's never going to get over that. Then they tried to run some women folk. You can't do that. Then they want everybody to have rights. What the fuck? Unrelenting political warfare.
The president's been shot, spied on, arrested, impeached.
Yeah, shot by his own fucking voters. Fuck you. Both of those guys were Trumpies. They were disaffected maggots. They were cultists. And a cult, when the members of a cult turn on you, you're in deep shit.
Each twice.
It's going to get worse, too, by the way. This whole Epstein shit, there's a bunch of fucking people snapping around the periphery, and it ain't us. It's not Democrats. It's not liberals. It's fucking unhinged maggots who have, like, carried this whole fucking Epstein, you know, QAnon banner for a long fucking time. And there is no way to dissuade them from focusing on the fact that Trump is hiding all this shit. Thank you, 56
We've been debanked, censured. Republicans.
You have not.
Homes have been raided.
Right, the criminals.
Republicans have been shackled.
Sorry, Bob Mendez who?
Investigated,
Menendez?
abused. The country was invaded.
It was? When did this happen? Look, I've had some rough naps in my life, but I'm fairly certain I would have woken up for an invasion.
Tax dollars are being stolen by their nonprofits. Their schools are indoctrinating our children. They're conducting...
Yeah, they teach, like, especially in elementary school, where they teach you, like, sharing and to not scream and annoy everybody around you. It's fucking terrible. It's just taking the spirit out of our children's.
Sick operations on them. They've corrupted athletics, staged coups, been caught ballot harvesting. Hi, Wanda.
No, they haven't.
It's been a bloodthirsty battle for power. And we have...
Also, didn't Trump say, like, they ballot harvested? We got a ballot harvest this time. Because he did last time. It's like, by the way, the reason Trump has talked about how much, like, fraud there is in the voting system and how there's, like, stolen votes and fake votes and all that kind of stuff is because he paid for it. He's got the fucking receipt.
Haven't even been fighting until now. Finally, Trump's fighting back.
Is he? Huh. I wonder why. Is he trying to draw attention from something?
And this time, he's not fighting for his own political survival.
No, definitely not.
The Democrat Party is. They just lost 7 swing states. Donors lost over $1 billion.
Yeah, but Trump's approval rating is at 30%. So, oops, I'm trying to stretch this out. I feel like this needs to be, there you go. Sorry, Jesse. I just didn't want you to, like, I felt like this was, there you go. I just didn't want, I wanted you to be able to see everything clearly.
They're struggling to defend the biggest cover-up in U.S. history. And
the biggest cover-up in U.S. history. What could that possibly be? That you have a caterpillar farm in your basement that you're hiding from the government, and every day you pluck 2 fresh ones, dip them in coffee, and staple them to your forehead?
The party's broke, and the least popular it's ever been.
So is Trump.
Kind of makes you realize they've only been competitive because of shenanigans.
And we're speaking of shenanigans.
Let's not forget, Democrats rigged the 2020 census by including illegal aliens. Remember.
the Constitution says you have to.
They sued Donald Trump. They sued the administration. They fought tooth and nail to include illegal aliens in the census. 20 to 30 of House Democrat seats wouldn't exist but for illegal aliens.
Yeah, but there's like 30 Republican seats that would also vanish.
We're not,
according to this giant number they're talking
not going
about.
to take it anymore. Trump's drawing a line in the sand. He wants illegals out of the census and out of the country. Quote, I have instructed our Department of Commerce to immediately begin work on a new and highly accurate census based on modern day facts and figures and, importantly, using the results and information gained from the presidential election of 24. People who are in our country illegally will not be counted in the census. Democrats used illegal immigration and gerrymandering to...
Also, by the way, here most people are like responding like, first of all, I think they're just trying to create these fucked up districts so they can isolate voters. Not because they're trying to make these seats go away. They're trying to redraw them so that they can eliminate their competition, not because these people are going away or the populations are shifting. They're trying to rotate them around, create these funky districts that don't fit the electorate, that are guaranteeing them power in a certain area. I got to say, this is not going to work. Beyond the fact that it's wrong and beyond the fact that there may be legal challenges to it, I don't think it's going to actually work out the way they think it is. It's not going to make it more Republican. It ain't. Things are not moving in that direction. And a big chunk, you can not count people who are here in this country legally or illegally that are immigrants all you want to try and diminish the populations of certain areas. But it isn't going to change the fact that a bunch of MAGAts are going to stand down in the next election. The people that you're talking about don't vote. MAGAts, by and large, have only succeeded because of an 6 to 8% of their group that showed up just for Trump, that are all loyalists, all cult members, and thought this was all about, exposing a cabal of pedophiles. And those motherfuckers are not going to vote next time. That's where they're trying to get rid of these seats, because they can't compete. They know it. And I'm going to argue that if Democrats run people in these areas that fit the electorate, they're going to win. The same way, Georgia has 2 Democratic senators. Sorry, I happen to think there could be a lot more seats in Texas open to Democrats after this shit happens.
To rig the map and boost their power in the House. And Trump's saying no mas.
Jesus Christ.
With the way the census works, it has to be done in the year that ends with 5. So Trump's on the clock. MSNBC says if he does, Democrats are getting nuked.
Could really be the unraveling of our democratic system if we start getting into a situation where states are just trying to rack up the numbers and paying no attention to their constituents.
Right. That last sentence might be meaningful, Jesse, that pay no attention to their constituents part. The Americans.
Americans put Trump in office for this exact reason.
No, they didn't.
To unravel a corrupt system.
Well, apparently he's not doing it. He's protecting a pedophile network, and a bunch of his voters are going to take a fucking powder. So the only way he can win is to rig the next election.
A system where politicians...
It's going to be rigged. He's rigging it. I'm just going to call it from now on. If he can say it, I can say it. He's rigging the next election. Trump is trying to rig the next election because if he had to compete on a even playing field, he would fucking lose.
Got rich off insider trading and got powerful from illegal immigration.
Sorry, Trump crypto owner says what?
Every Republican state should look at the battle lines and do what's right. It's unacceptable to count illegals in a census that gives Democrats back the House. Do you want to give them back the House based off funky numbers?
They're not funky numbers. That's the actual population in the area. Whether they're legal or illegal, that's the federal government's job in fixing that part of it. Also, I got to say, those people aren't going to go away in those areas. You're just going to have a lot more quote unquote illegals in what are effectively red districts. And the businesses that run them are going to be hiding these people. And they're going to look to Republicans to cover for them, just like they've done in Nebraska and other places.
So they can have an impeachment hat trick and slow down deportations and keep.
Well, don't threaten me with a good time.
Sending millions.
First of all, they couldn't possibly, slow down deportations. They're lower than Biden.
Of dollars to Guatemala for sex changes and hold hearings on DEI. Nancy Pelosi says if she gets back in power, she wants to start cutting off your kids' ding-a-lings again.
Really? Is that how she put it? Were they cutting off kids' ding-a-lings before? I mean, can you show us on the doll where the nasty woman touched you, Jesse?
That is something that I'm working for at the national level, and we have, how can I say, are hoping that we can have gender affirming here for our trans kids, and that it's a sad thing for us.
There's too much. It's
also gender affirming care doesn't mean actual sexual reassignment surgery, right? It doesn't.
Mistake. We have to lock in voter ID. We have to gerrymander the Reds.
Oh, by the way, we've all but locked in voter ID in every state, especially blue states. And with real ID, that will make it even easier. It's maggots who aren't going to get a real ID. You're going to have a hard time talking them into getting a legitimate ID. And what's going to happen is laws are going to change that only a real ID works. Wait till that shit hits the fan. It's going to happen before 2028. And the only people going, hey, what the fuck, I don't want one, are going to be Republicans. And it will be a statistically significant number of them. 3 to 5% of the Republican electorate does not want a real ID. And they will not be able to enter a federal building or a courthouse or an airport or vote without one.
Kick the migrants out of the country and the census and get to the bottom of the Biden cover-up. And finally, get a...
anything but the Epstein files is what you're saying.
Accountability for the scoundrels who criminalized America first. But
the scoundrels who criminalized America first. Oh, you mean Trump and his people making money off of it with like crypto schemes and stuff, taking America first and turning it into a money-making scheme. I got you. Okay, yeah, that I'm for sure.
None of this works if we don't round up bad hombres.
This is the kind of thing where people have to step up. I'm stepping up. Hopefully, a whole bunch of other former officers, former ICE agents will step up, and we'll meet those recruitment goals immediately, and we'll help protect this country.
If you believe in America first.
Sorry, what did I just see there? Guys getting rounded up working in a Home Depot parking lot? Where's the threat? Were they going to rise up? Did you find them making fucking bombs or hoarding guns and ammo to attack the government or their fellow citizens? No, you didn't. And when that does happen, when an American does it, you ignore it. We have a mass shooting because some MAGA misanthrope decides to open fire on a fucking market because there's too many black people shopping there. Nothing. But an illegal standing in a parking lot offering to do like roofing jobs when it's 106 degrees outside. That's an invading force. Shut the fuck up.
Join ICE. You get a $50,000 bonus, and you get to jump out of a van and tackle illegals with Superman. Homan says his phone's blowing up.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. That's a problem when you get to that age and there's a lot of scammers out there.
I actually used to have a LinkedIn account, and I had to shut it down because I had thousands and thousands of people reaching out to me. Bottom line is you got a lot of patriots.
It's not you. You're not, Jesse. You're not taking the job, tough guy.
We're talking about the possibility of extinguishing a political party. This party.
Which party would that be? The one that's extinguishing itself? Left in the dust. I see this. Okay.
He's on the ropes and could be out of power for a very long time if we.
Well, you know, a lot of people have thought that about either party several times. So put a pin in that.
Follow through. They're actually powerless to stop the movement. It's why they're pulling stunts to fool their base into thinking they're fighting. Trump's using the system they created to win. So Democrats are forced to go outside of the system to save what's left of their party. They've been reduced to locking themselves in ICE jails and claiming Homan threw away the key.
We were greeted by a masked
agent who refused to give us his name, who refused to show his face, and who proceeded to lock the door, keeping us, in essence, incarcerated here because we cannot go in or out.
We have a new hoax alert.
New hoax alert. New hoax alert. New hoax alert.
Homeland Security says this. This is deeply unserious. The members were not trapped and were free to leave whenever they would like. In fact, the BOP, which manages this facility, had to close the gates to prevent the media from trespassing.
Oh, right. Yeah, the media was trespassing. You know, transparency. Right, sure. In the name of transparency, they had to keep the media from trespassing. Uh-huh. So is that a hoax like this is a hoax?
In L.A., Mayor Karen Bass, still being a Karen, she says Los Angeles is disappearing.
When one breadwinner, one wage earner is gone and disappears, when that is taken away from you, that just doesn't destabilize a family. That destabilizes a neighborhood. But we are not going to allow this administration to destabilize our great city.
Bass claimed ICE raids were shutting down car washes, remember? But Johnny pulled up and got a deluxe.
The mayor says nobody's getting their car washed because...
Oh, sorry. Where are you? Beverly Hills? He's in Beverly Hills.
Because of ICE. Well, we're at a car wash. It's packed. So what are we going to do? We're getting our car washed. How busy has it been?
Yeah, every day. All day, busy.
Even though illegals are on the run, L.A. is still running.
By the way, do you notice the accent of that dude? And also, for the record, my guess is because that's where the raids haven't come because it's Beverly Hills. This asshole was in Beverly Hills. Yeah, it's not in L.A. I mean, L.A., like Beverly Hills is inside L.A., but it's got its own sheriff's department. It's got a, you know, effectively a stand-down order for all of Beverly Hills. Get the fuck out of here.
Karen's just in a tizzy because her political power is disappearing. But nothing's stopping Homan. He's like a bloodhound on the trail. South?
Well, looks aren't everything.
Park gets it.
Oh, they keep cutting the South Park stuff before the punchline.
Well, this is bad. Okay.
President Trump's political fortunes are improving. CNBC.
Sorry, did you just listen to? He said South Park gets it. Let's really. Right before he played this.
Are on the run, disappearing. But nothing's stopping Homan. He's like a bloodhound on the trail. South Park gets it.
South Park gets it. What's the last line in this? That's Jesse Waters' idea of South Park gets it. Fuck you, Fox News. Fuck you, you racist bastards. Think about what the lead into that. South Park gets it, and this is the clip they pulled. There was other stuff they could have played. They could have chosen other pieces. They chose specifically, and it's in his teleprompter. South Park gets it, followed by this clip where she says, remember, only the brown ones. That's Jesse Waters saying South Park gets it. Fucking hell.
President Trump's political fortunes are improving. CNBC has his approval rating surging 2 points over the summer. The country backs what he's doing on immigration. And economic optimism is up.
CNBC,
if you voted for Donald Trump, this is exactly, almost to the letter, what you wanted. Element after element, he delivered exactly what he said he was going to do. And that's why his own voters believe that this has been an incredibly successful presidency.
We're 200 days in.
Nope.
Imagine what could be accomplished over the next 200 days.
Yeah, almost no one will have any semblance of health care, even veterans.
If we keep this pace. We already have a big, beautiful rose garden patio.
Rose garden patio. We already. Sorry, Homan gets it. Grab the brown ones. And we have a lovely rose garden patio. I gotta tell you, it looks like a bunch of tables where they're having cock for dinner. It looks like a bunch of gold cocks. What in the ever-loving shit? Who ordered the 10 golden cocks? Jesse. This is Jesse's idea of a good time. What kind of parlor game is this? Yeah, and there's no roses in the rose garden.
Now the women's high heels won't be sloshing around in the dirt. Happy wife, happy life. See what I...
What? Sloshing around in the dirt.
I mean, anything's possible. We just have to be nice.
Yeah, we could, in the next few years, we could pave all of it. Maybe we can get rid of all the trees and bushes and the grass. It's annoying mowing it. That's American taxpayer stuff. We could just pay one guy with a hose to hose down all the concrete. We'll just paint it green.
And just do it.
It looks like a Panera.
Click here.
Jesus Christ. No, I will not. What an asshole. All right, real quick. This, I got to end on this. Charlie Kirk video coming in hot. And I want you to look at the strange bedfellows situation here and the title on this. Remember what I said about your works should define you by your ethics, not what label you wear? Give your life to Christ. Russell Brand X Charlie Kirk. That's all it says. Like, they couldn't even come up with a fucking title for it because they were so afraid of what it means. Dude's got 4 sexual assault charges in London and 4 sexual assault charges in Los Angeles pending. Go for it, Charlie Kirk. Tell us about Christ.
Okay, everyone, let's get right to it. Joining us is a new friend and...
A new friend.
Honestly, a great person and amazing Christian. A new Christian. You probably know him from a...
Yeah, the new ones are the ones that really have it down, I guess, because they've just had their sins washed away. They're a brand new baby, and it takes them a little while to get back up to the sinning level they were before.
A lot of different stuff.
They've been in, like, sin rehab.
Give it up for Russell Brand, everybody.
What's the camera angle? Like, you can't move it around? It's a little fucking weird. Why don't you just remain seated? What is happening?
Hello. Russell, great to see you.
Oh, I'm so grateful to be here.
Before we start, I'm not Gary the Guantanamo Gator. Charlie, you've been avoiding me for debating.
Thank you.
No country, though.
All right.
Do this with love.
Wait, this is important. It's the Guantanamo Gator.
Correct.
Charlie, I want to follow up on some of the Guantanamo Gators questions. Why do we...
Apparently somebody, he's got a regular... It's a thing they do. It's hilarious. It's like a morning zoo.
No, keep talking. This is good. And why don't you debate... He's perfectly reasonable. Debate him now. Why do you keep... Because that's quite good. Do you see? Now, Charlie, now can I talk to you about some of your booking ideas? And I will say, no one told me about the Guantanamo Gator. I was not warned. And you know, sometimes you see those videos of Floridians getting them into a trash can with wheels. I should like to see that take place with that gentleman.
Oh, there you go. Nice Christian threat of violence. He would like to see the guy who stood up and sort of jokingly heckled Charlie Kirk be thrown into a garbage can and wheeled away, I guess. It got Jesus-y so fast. Just right out of the gate. I'm overwhelmed by the piosity.
He honestly, he's just so reasonable. We should have kept the conversation going. Russell, great to see you. Thanks for being here.
It's so lovely to see you.
So, I have so much to talk about here. Are you carrying around a Bible?
That's my Bible in 1 year from our daily readings. And I thought it was very apposite that today we've transitioned out of Acts and into Romans 1, because on our previous conversation, which was in Milwaukee at the RNC,
good Lord,
you said to me that Romans is the Christian constitution. This is from my friend J. John. I like it. It's Old and New Testament, but it's very easy to carry around and read. These are just some of my notes in preparation for the interview. Note 1, ensure Guantanamo Gator present in front row. This will distract Charlie. No, there's just like lots of actually notes about Rome itself and Caravaggio and stuff like that. So yeah, I carry 2 Bibles, which I recognize is quite cumbersome, but I've not been Christian very long. So what do you expect?
Yes, and you have to display them. Otherwise, people will start asking you about your multiple sexual assault charges.
And so, Russ,
rape charges.
So you have a phenomenal story, and thank you for taking time to travel to this conference. It's terrific.
Thanks for.
The conference is terrific.
Paying me to come.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, thank you for gladly accepting. So, you were.
He needs it for his legal fund.
In public eye, you still are, in a non-Christian lifestyle. Is that fair to say?
Almost anti-Christian in some ways.
Walk us through the journey as you're comfortable sharing from that lifestyle to now giving your life to Jesus Christ.
Well,
Charlie, it's really simple. I was humming right along, being a big Trump sycophant, and selling a bunch of misanthropic, antisocial, anti-humanist claptrap because I found it funny, and I didn't give a fuck. And I was realizing which side of the bread the butter was on with Trump around, and so I decided to jump on that bandwagon. Because he was skeevy and fucked up, and I like being skeevy and fucked up. And then I got charged with 4 counts of rape and sexual assault in London, and then again in America. And I was like, shit, I should probably get a cover story. So I figured, Jesus, that works for guys who are already in prison. I'll just get ahead of the game.
You know,
Yeah, you guys think I basically got it? That's his story?
Sense we have no choice but to worship something, and my devoutness and devotion was effortlessly directed by the culture and by my conditions, I mean familial and psychological as well as social, towards...
I see. It's society's fault that you were an abject cunt. I get it. Sure.
Worship and reverence of the individual, which I see as being the nexus of false idolatry, really. As long as you're trapped in self, worshipping yourself, aspects of yourself, self-aggrandizement, pursuit of personal glory,
you might be inclined to go over to a woman's house when she's turning you down from sex, shove her up against a wall, and shove your cock inside her against her will. You know? It just happens. I blame society, really. It's not my fault. These aren't choices I made.
Very easily contained by the culture. In a sense, I've started to recognize that the culture wants us in a state of self-centered bewilderment. When you're in that state, you're very easy to manage and manipulate.
Oh, so Trump is very easy to manage and manipulate, and that's what you and Charlie are doing all the time? Gotcha.
I thought that I was autonomous and had a great deal of personal authority. In fact, I would have believed in the kind of rags to riches idea that I come from a pretty modest background, and through success and endeavor and hard work and through personal excellence and ability and charm, moxie, call it what you will, I fought against the odds to become a Hollywood star and marry Katy Perry and be on red carpets all over the place. For a brief while, I lived with the Guantanamo Gator. It was a complicated era.
That's a standard callback.
That's how I would have characterized it, Charlie. As
I missed that one.
Yeah, no, I kept it quiet. I was embarrassed. I would have characterized it as a sort of a story of personal success. And I didn't... This is how I came to realize this. I was looking at the work of Yuval Noah Harari, the writer of Sapiens, which I sort of found perfectly enjoyable till it became clear to me it was an atheistic trope that was geared towards directing people towards surrender and subjugation towards AI false idols.
That's what it was.
It was, wasn't it?
Yes.
And I thought...
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah, so Sapiens. I read some sort of buzz like New York Times pop culture pseudo-scientific claptrap that everybody else was reading, and I was like, whoops, this is like bullshit.
Well, the reason this guy is such a popular and accredited intellectual is because his message and agenda fits very neatly into the agenda of powerful elites who determine which cultural artifacts get...
Yeah, and that's how people read books. They go, what book? Let's see. How many? There's a huge number of books here at my local Barnes & Nobles, which God bless it for still being open. Which ones would the powerful elites that want to control my mind want me to read? The review of it in the New York Times, if the Illuminati wants you to read one book, it's this one.
And popularized. I didn't realize that at first. And then I thought, I wonder if you were that. I wonder if there was something about your success, Russell, that was telling the culture a story.
No, for fuck's sake. Now he's talking to himself in third persons. In the third person.
I wanted to hear. And then I thought about it for a while because it is, after all, my favorite subject, me. And while I was thinking about that, I thought, oh, yeah, it was my personal hedonism and my sense of myself as self-actualizing through excess. That's a story the culture likes to tell itself. So really, you were just a useful sort of vessel or expression of a particular set of cultural ideas. I came to Christ the way that some people do who don't have...
Yeah, people, they get in trouble with the law and are trying to find a way to limit their sentencing at some point, and they want to be able to argue that they're a good Christian man or something, like throw themselves on the mercy of the court, and you weren't, so you had to start pretending early.
The benefit of Christianity in early life, although it happened obviously at the perfect time, through a variety of collapses in my private and public life, a sort of a personal difficulty with the birth of my son, who's sort of beautiful and incredible and doing very well, but certainly was a crisis in our family for a minute, and through false allegations of sexual misconduct, which gave me great pause for reflection on the way that I'd lived for a lot of time and the impact.
Yeah, never to the point where you believe that you did something wrong and you need to pay a penance for that. Just that I need cover. Ugh.
Of that lifestyle. And I suppose in the midst of all that confusion, the clarity of Christ came in a way that's sort of still difficult to describe. But most recently, I felt, Charlie, when reading, I was looking at Acts, and it talked about the meeting of Paul and Peter. So I went to check it in Galatians, the same encounter. And I thought, in that encounter between Paul and Peter, you've got someone who knew Christ while alive and met the resurrected Christ, as well as Paul, who has this profound, incredible vision re-encounter with him. And I thought, and I had that kind of visceral wave of the reality and truth of the historical Christ, not just the mythic Christ that we need to use as a sort of an inner constellation for personal guidance, but oh my God, it actually happened. And when I feel that, it brings me out of the humdrum, it brings me out of the sensual, and it puts me in the supernatural, where I believe we must to some degree live in the world, not of it.
Yes, and so I'm sure you tried Buddhism, or did you experiment with
Yes, he's still wearing the beads.
Easter and stuff. What made Christianity different?
The reason I was repulsed by Christianity initially was because I felt like this is the religion of like any ordinary American or my grandmother or my wife.
Yikes. So, sorry. So you didn't reject Christianity because of this trope that that religion starts all the wars in the world, or that monotheism itself is a control point for monarchies and authoritarians, or either. He wrote it off because it's like something poor people do. It's for old fuddy-duddies and weak average people. Good God. This isn't better.
It's accessible to everyone. I must have something a little more esoteric, a little rarer, a little more hardcore.
A little more Gnostic.
A little more Gnostic and a little less conformist. I felt that, Christianity, and maybe there's an argument that could be had about whether institutional Christianity is used as a kind of panacea to prevent people being the radical revolutionaries that I believe our Lord would have us be. And I when I, like, with things like...
Yeah, that's why I'm on Rumble.
Buddhism and...
It's the place for radical revolutionaries like Jesus. If Jesus was alive right now, he'd have a TikTok account that would blow people away, and he'd be on Rumble.
Sufism, not that I'm claiming to have had a deep understanding of these faiths, just an autodidactic perusal of the books of Sufism and Hinduism and Buddhism and philosophy. Although there were many, many truths that were discovered in them texts, at the center of those truths, Charlie, there I was still, trapped in self.
Tired of government run over...
No, I'm tired of this conversation. Can I just say, like, the book Sapiens that he brought up, it's been a while since I've read it, but the overall thought in it is effectively just, it's like, I think it's Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind or Mankind or whatever. And the idea is that there's the thinking of old religions and spiritual philosophy stuff have not prepared us for the technological present we have or the technological future. And it's very possible we could create an AI that makes humans obsolete. It's standard run-of-the-mill techno fear-mongering. It's been around for a long time. And it just became kind of like the pop version of that thought form. That's all. And the book came out pre the AI breakout. So lately people have been reading it again, or it's reached a second level of popularity because it seemed prescient at the time. But then so were every fucking sci-fi movie. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is fucking prescient. Right? Oh, love you, Hal Starks, but Goldblum is calling. If I may. Yeah. These guys, thank you guys so much. These were good shows today. They really were. And thanks to Rob Glenn and Dana Goldberg for being on the morning show. And thank you guys for joining me this afternoon. Don't forget, be a Patreon. Patreon.com/HalSparks. A great way to support the show on the regular. And there's a free comedy show at the end of every month, including the one that's coming up at the end of this month. And eventually, if Nerd Halen is in your town, you can bring a guest to the show for free. And we'll have a little meet and greet because that's added to the repertoire. I think we can standardize that at this point. And yeah, that's it. But I'd like to say that like the Sapiens idea is this is an attempt to pop the humans are special bubble again. And there's always been books like that. And they will always be around to some degree. I think AI will probably write one at some point that a bunch of people will carry around under their arm in a Kindle or something. But in reality, yeah, Phil will be on tomorrow, and the radio show will be on as regular. And then next week's shows, there may be some flexibility in their times. I'll try and keep them on schedule as much as I can, but. It's Summer's vacation. We're going on vacation for Summer's birthday. So I'll be doing my show from whatever the hotel situation is. And but in that process of, kind of decrying the specialness of humans, which is, I find, a reaction to pollution. It's this myth that humans are the only ones that make a mess. And until we came along, nature functioned with no mess in it. And it's childish and stupid. It's infantile. We are as natural as any other animal, and anything we create is as natural as a beehive or a fucking wasp nest, or a bear cave. It's just, we're doing what we do, and we're an integral part of this as well. There has to be a balance in taking care of life on this planet, but you can't write off this animal without writing off all animals, because it's childish and stupid. And so, yeah, we're primates. We're just the biggest tool user of the primates. And like I said, if all humans ever did, let me make sure I'm on the same thing. Yeah. If all we ever did was, our entire human society, if all it ever did was get us to the point where we can knock away an asteroid that would have destroyed all life on the planet, we would be worth it. Everything we've done ever in the history of anything would be worth it if we just simply do that. Christopher Hines will agree to disagree. You're totally welcome to do that, because that's what an animal would do. That's what a human animal would do. And it's okay. I think we have a responsibility to live up to our highest selves, and I don't think we do that, but we don't do it by pretending that we're fucking dolphins, right? We're a different animal entirely. So anyways, it's just a bunch of pop culture pseudoscientific claptrap that people just use as spackle for their indulgent nihilism, or whatever, their self-serving, pat themselves on the back, I'm one of the elevated humans horseshit, right? I like that stuff. Just drives me nuts. It's fucking beyond the point. You know, it's like the kidney or something where... Ah! Help! The kidney! But the... Ah!
The kidney has a very special place in the heart.
Huh. You don't say. Brutal. All right, I'll see you guys in the morning for the radio show. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. Hit the like, give a thumbs up, support the show. Patreon.com/HALSparks. Venmo, etc. All the stuff I'm supposed to say.
That's great psychology. Why don't you just say something bad about my mother?
Bullshit! Gee, I wish we had one of them doomsday machines. I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
He's a genius, see?
Well, stupid, are you ready? Oh, hello there!
I love lamb.
Oh, nice marmot.
Negative function. Negative function.
You stay classy, Diego.
Shut up and never say anything again as long as you live.
Captain's log.
Looking around here, I can tell you're a genuinely dirty person.
Get the facts, man.
Lady, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave the store.
I got news for you, pal. You ain't leaving but two things right now. Jack and shit. Jack left town.
Shop smart, shop S-Mart. Shop smart, shop S-Mart.
See this? This is my boomstick! I'm your huckleberry.
Groovy.
Throw me a frickin' bone here. I'm the boss.
Leon's getting larger.
Take off, eh?
Call me Snake.
You are physically repulsive, intellectually retarded, vulgar, insensitive, selfish, stupid. You have no taste, a lousy sense of humor, and
He's real nice. If I didn't have puke fest, I'd kiss you.
Listen, buddy, don't start off with your white song.
I'm dead sexy. I'm dead sexy.
It's good to be the king.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Ruby.